Social media is on fire, and the Gossip Girl star, Blake Lively, is caught in the middle of it. It Ends With Us really ended with a burst of controversy. Let's say it all started from the feud between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni on set. Even a few members of the crew were witnesses to this. Everyone knew that they didn't like each other. I think some of the rumors online seem a little strong. I don't think they hate each other, but I don't think they would work together again. Their styles are way too different. Blake is very business-minded and very practical. Justin is so on the other side of why he makes art that they were never going to be friends, a crew member said. There were such conflicting ideas of how to make the movie. And since Blake was bankrolling it, Justin couldn't put his foot down, another said. Perhaps the Lively-Baldoni backlash started from the fact that both of them were an unfit mix of characters. However, this situation has spiraled into more dig-ups and derogatory claims, with Blake Lively being the major target. It Ends With Us is undoubtedly the second biggest movie in America, but it's the conflict surrounding the film, and not the film itself, that everyone is talking about. Lively and her co-stars are feuding with lead and director Justin Baldoni. It's painted on almost all the blogs. Baldoni and Lively reportedly didn't get along, and he allegedly fat-shamed her by asking someone how much Lively weighed. Well, there was a scene involving the two where he needed to pick her up, and he was afraid of hurting his back. Hence the question. And according to some, he didn't enjoy Lively inviting her husband, Ryan Reynolds, on set to direct some scenes. It was probably difficult for Blake to step out from her husband's shadow, and Baldoni was not very understanding. The tensions between the two were an open secret on set. Was Baldoni the only insensitive one? All eyes are on Blake, though. It's common knowledge that movie press tours are not a thrilling business. They mostly consist of actors fielding the same questions over and over from a variety of media outlets, just in the hopes that they say something that spurs you to see the film they are promoting. However, the monotonous repetition of the cinematic publicity cycle is exactly why Lively and It Ends With Us. Unusual Tour has been so attention-grabbing. Lively and Baldoni have been promoting the film separately, an extremely strange thing for leads to do. That's not all. What Lively has been saying in the promotion of the film is also drawing attention. In a video clip promoting the movie on TikTok, Lively says to grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it. In addition to Lively's quip about girls' night out to watch intimate partner abuse, because that is what the film portrays, she has been promoting both her new hair care line, Blake Brown, and her beverage company, Betty Buzz. She has also used the red carpet to keep the public thinking about her husband's new film, the hyper-violent and profane Marvel blockbuster Deadpool and Wolverine, while giving him all the flowers. One promotional clip has Lively all giggling with her co-stars about their zodiac signs, while another has her talking about wearing her clothes in the movie. In one of her interviews, she was asked by a journalist who was familiar with the movie's sensitive themes about how the movie may inspire people to reach out to her and talk about abuse. Guess what she did? Lively flippantly dismissed the question as a joke about hypothetically not sharing her location or phone number with those fans, instead of, as many would have preferred, promoting domestic violence services. It doesn't make sense. Critics pointed out the disconnect between Lively framing her movie like a celebratory girls' night and the actual content of the movie, in which a woman experiences violence from her romantic partner. Wearing florals and rounding up the girls to watch a woman get physically abused by her partner seems extremely insensitive and out of touch with the subject of her movie. It's either Lively intentionally chose not to feel any empathy towards her role, or she does not understand the subject of the movie, and perhaps her chain of businesses matters more. Of course, actors and actresses should not feel so connected to the roles they play in movies, but Lively's reaction was just too much. Plus, It Ends With Us has a somber yet inspiring storyline. Being the first Colleen Hoover novel adapted for the big screen, it tells the compelling story of Lily Bloom, a woman who overcomes a traumatic childhood to embark on a new life in Boston and chase a lifelong dream of opening her own business. A chance meeting with charming neurosurgeon Ryle Kincaid sparks an intense connection. However, as the two fall deeply in love, Lily begins to see sides of Ryle that remind her of her parents' relationship. When Lily's first love, Atlas Corrigan, suddenly comes back to her life, her relationship with Ryle is upended, and Lily realizes she must learn to rely on her strength to make an impossible choice for her future. So, does this suggest that Lively should not have played the sacred role of Lily Bloom? Imagine her encouraging fans to wear their florals to screenings in homage to Lily's character, who is a florist. We won't blame Blake Lively, right? She seems disconnected from crucial issues such as domestic violence, since her union with Ryan Reynolds is quite the lovey-dovey one. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have a swoon-worthy romance. Everyone can testify to it. The couple first met on the set of Green Lantern in 2010, but didn't develop a romantic relationship until a year later. "We were buddies for a long time, which I think is the best way to have a relationship, to start as friends," Reynolds told Jess Cagle on SiriusXM's Entertainment Weekly radio Deadpool special in 2016. Reynolds further admitted that sparks didn't start flying until they went on a double date with other people. "About a year after Green Lantern had come and gone, and we were both single, we went on a double date. She was on a date with another guy, and I was on a date with another girl. And it was like the most awkward date for the respective parties, because we were just like fireworks coming across," she said. Furthermore, fast forward to September 9, 2012, the couple tied the knot at Boone Hall Plantation in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Details of the ceremony were kept top secret, yet in 2020, Reynolds publicly apologized and expressed regret for hosting their wedding at a former plantation. He said this during an interview with Fast Company in 2020. "It's something we'll always be deeply and unreservedly sorry for. It's impossible to reconcile. What we saw at the time was a wedding venue on Pinterest. What we saw after was a place built upon devastating tragedy. Years ago, we got married again at home, but shame works in weird ways. A giant fucking mistake like that can either cause you to shut down, or it can reframe things and move you into action." Why did he have to apologize? Well, Reynolds' apology acknowledged a devastating blind spot that is shared by many: a willful ignorance of what plantations were. A plantation is an economic system, a business, in which its profitability is linked to the forced labor of enslaved people. Plantations are the sites of violence and brutality, an enslaved labor camp with a pretty house on it, according to Dr. Joy Banner, Director of Communications at the Whitney Plantation. Nonetheless, the fact is that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have a happy marriage. The A-list couple is famed for throwing hilarious digs at one another on social media. Lively recently teased her husband during his Deadpool and Wolverine press tour. Taking to her Instagram story on July 16th, she shared a snap of Reynolds and Hugh Jackman playing with water guns at the 2024 Water Bomb Festival in Seoul, South Korea. "When he tells you he's going to work, and then you see him on MTV Spring Break," Lively joked to her 45 million followers. This could be their love language. Plus, earlier this year, Lively spoke with her friend Amber Tamblyn on her show, Further Ado, where she revealed they made one specific rule in their work life to maintain their healthy relationship. "When Ryan and I got together, we made a rule not to work at the same time, so that we could always prioritize our personal life." She confessed that it took some time to get used to, especially after becoming parents. Blake added, "My husband calls me his knight in shining armor, which I think is so sweet because we only hear about men being that." Ryan also recently opened up about their marriage, claiming that the secret to their successful and long-lasting marriage is that they are genuinely rooting for each other. He said, "I think the secret sauce to a long-lasting Hollywood friendship is not to be dissimilar to having a partner or a marriage." One more thing. Lively Blake has probably lived a sheltered life for the long haul. Amid ongoing backlash over the promotion of It Ends With Us, her loved ones came to her rescue. Her brother-in-law, Bart Johnson, who is married to her older sister, Robin Lively, spotted a comment accusing the actress of promoting happiness in a domestic violence setting without any regard for any victims. He decided to reply, "I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sure you have a huge heart and want the best. I can promise you the truth has not come out yet. Blake worked harder on this film than anything I've seen her do in my entire life, because it meant so much to her." As a further show of support, he wrote, "The message is in the book and in the movie, not in short clips, talks, or interviews. She is the reason the message, this movie, is getting out." His wife, Robin, also shared a response to someone who wrote, "Blake is a lovely human being. I hope she knows that the multitudes of people who love her are so much greater than the negative voices." Robin said, "Thank you for this." In a way, Bart is right. The message is in the book and the movie. Blake Lively may not have been the perfect Lily Bloom, but her performance was impressive. Now, it is currently her highest-grossing movie yet. At the end of the day, what may or may not have happened behind the scenes should not distract us from the real message of the movie. So much heart and soul have been put into it. Blake Lively is just the actress that she is. And her personality, it will remain as comedic as her marriage with Ryan. That's the hard pill we need to swallow.